happy with his players doing things like this. Looks like Zerglings are now advancing across the field. Once that Evo Chamber dies, Cypher XP says he did this to me. And when when that Evo Chamber dies, a bunch of Broodlings are gonna be spawning, and it looks like that Evo Chamber is really close to death. A couple of Zerglings will be popping in there, trying to take some units out here, and this is allowing Zinger XPN to actually build up his drone count and also get his expansion up, and this leaves a gaping hole in the defense over here, and the Broodlings do pop out. The Zerglings are going to be advancing in here, possibly going to be nibbling away this gateway over here, and it looks like the Zerglings are headed straight for the mineral line. A ton of probes have been pulled off. Why he get cheesed every week? Oh man, and the Zerglings are going to be able to retreat here. Let's take a look to see how many workers have been killed. 3 workers killed for an exchange of an Evo Chamber. Plus all of that mining time lost. The Zerglings are continuing to do work. Plus a ton of drones being made right now. His lings are annoying, so cute. And it looks like the wall in has been completed by Zeri. There's actually, I believe that's actually a hole right there. Enough for a Zergling, but probably not a Stalker. A sentry is out. The Zerglings continue to do some work against the mineral line, and it looks like another probe may. No, looks like the 2 Zerglings continue to stay alive for a very, very long time. Sentry will be able to tickle those lings to death. Lings do not like being tickled. We do have a spine crawler on the way for Zinger XPN just in case of any sort of counterplay. Twilight Council has been started, but it's going to be a long time, approximately 190 seconds, before Zeri can actually have any Blink Stalkers out on the field to do some damage. Perhaps he's going for some DT play. We'll see if he is going to be able to do some damage with that if he decides to go that route and grab his expansion is. I don't know what my plan B is. I guess he didn't really know what he was going to do after doing that. Didn't even have a plan A, says Zeri. And it looks like the probe will be able to scoot in here to see the spine crawler. A couple of Zerglings popping out. DT Shrine is on the way. These guys are funny. These 2 should do stand up. And creep has been spread between the main and the natural expansion, which is always good. 6 more drones popping out. Rich Warren on the way for Zinger XPN, securing a strong food lead at 10 food ahead. DT might work well. Good scout, says Ice's. Lair not even on the way, except he didn't see it. Well, anyways, DT Shrine and now over here, and XPN. He didn't actually see the DT Shrine, and it looks like a cancel from Zeri. He is going to be going for Blink now. It looks like he switched over to the Blink Stalkers after assuming that the Overlord did see it. So we do have another Overlord spotting this expansion over here, just in case of any sneaky Protoss expansions. And the gas now getting taken. This guy's plan A is very complex. It happens with Protoss players these days. It's really difficult. 8 workers killed, so cute. Which is completely worth it, especially considering all of that mining time lost. Zinger XPN and now getting his lair is almost complete. A Nexus has been started by Zeri, and this puts him very, very far behind. But as we know, Protoss players can actually be somewhat resilient if you play as good as Huck. So we'll see if this Protoss player is going to be able to play as good as Huck. He is now still behind 10 food, and the Zerg player is going to continue to get further and further ahead. More spine crawlers on the way. Overlord is over here, and it's seeing not much. If he would just scoot in there, he would notice that the Protoss player is trying to take another base, and he'd be ready to throw down additional hatches. And they're talking about the allowedness of expanding. You can expand, says kinematics. I don't know. I don't think so. Yeah, I always die to 1 base all-ins when I'm playing PvP. And yeah, I know. I like making carriers. Phoenix so strong now. Hey, don't bother my carrier play. It's good. And we have the probe now scouting in here. We'll be able to see the creep thread advancing. And yeah, it's so pro, right? Um, and the Zerglings are going to be scooting in here, going to be doing something. 2 years from now, carriers will be good units. It looks like a hidden expansion coming up from Zinger XPN, which is actually fine, but I'd be okay with him taking a well-known expansion as well. Make the Protoss player feel a little bit more behind. uh, Apparently now I'm ahead in terms of metagame, and it looks like the Overseer over here will almost die. Looks like it's gonna die now. Looks like drops now. No, I didn't see drops. I don't know what they're talking about, but oh no, never mind. There is drops. Here comes the Baneling drop all over the main mineral line. This is gonna be able to do a lot of damage. If Zeri hadn't noticed, looks like the Overlords will be able to scoot by and into the darkness over there. Looks like a blink forward will not be able to take out one of those Overlords. And Muta's now on the way. The third hatch is now completing for Zinger XPN, securing a 30 food lead as of this point. And the Banelings are going to continue to chill in the back. The probes have returned to mine at that expansion. And Zeri is going to be scooting out to the front. And I used to go games without getting supply blocked. That's why Nerzel was our ace player. The Overlords now trying to scoot over to the natural expansion. They do have speed. And looks like a couple of mutas are going to be advancing in here. The entire army is preoccupied. We'll see if this is going to be able to do damage. The Banelings are loaded up in those Overlords. And Zeri has not noticed. And here comes a Baneling drop. Everything dies. And there's still 3 Banelings left over to continue to annoy his opponent later on. The hatchery is coming up as a macro hatch inside of Zinger XPN's main. It looks like he's fallen a little bit in terms of food count, but our Protoss player is going to be forced to make a ton of additional probes as he doesn't have quite the strong probe count as of this point. 19 workers killed by Zinger XPN. He may have sacrificed a ton of Mutalisks while I was watching at the Banelings blow everything up. A couple of Zerglings spawning over here and drones transferring over to the third base. A Ling checking out the third expansion as well. Another Overlord with a couple of Banelings, Roaches actually in this case, are going to be dropping off over here. That's going to allow the Overlords here to continue to drop some Banelings on this mineral line. Looks like the units are going to be able to back off. Looks like the Banelings do some damage to the Stalkers, but those will be able to re-heal up. Looks like a couple of Roaches dropped into the main, and the infestation pit is now about to finish. The burrow upgrade is also on the way. The Roaches are going to be able to scoot in here, damage a couple of probes. This is going to continue to secure Zinger XPN a very strong lead. He needs to spend some of his minerals on those expansions here. He can easily take all the bases on his side of the map without breaking too much of a sweat. We have the pathogen glands on the way for Zinger XPN. Creep thread now moving out across the map. Pretty good creep thread here. The bushes are preventing it from moving across. Like to see him proactively continue to spread that creep throughout the game. The drones continuing to transfer over to that third base. The fourth base is coming up for Zinger XPN. Now approaching the 16-minute mark. The Protoss army is pretty small now, advancing across the map. Looks like the Infestors will not quite be ready for this battle, but Zinger XPN should be able to get enough units to defend against this. He has plenty of Zerglings and a few Roaches out right now. A ton of Spine Crawlers on the way for Zinger XPN. A cancel on this hatch, and Infestors, 8 Infestors on the way. After those Infestors get out, it's going to be so hard to play as the Protoss player against that, especially without any tier 3 units. There's nothing in terms of that as of this moment. Only Templar now getting out into the field, and Templar not too good against Infestors as of this point in time. Archon's being morphed, and Danny has timings written down. Looks like they do get a lot of practice, so we'll probably look for them in the playoffs if they do pretty well. Groups are going to continue to spread over here, and the Protoss army advancing over here. 10 more Roaches on the way. The first Infestors are out on the field. They do have the fungal growth at the ready. Additional creep spread into the center of the map, And it looks like Zeri is going to be trying to take his next base, but the one Zergling is going to be able to deny that for a certain amount of time. We'll see if he's going to be able to take his expansion real soon. I'd like to see additional upgrades from Zinger XPN. He had so much money. He's getting additional infestors out. Neural Parasite on the way. Zerg melee attacks level 2. Storm is coming up as well for our Protoss player. The Archons are going to be joining this battle. A couple of Zealots kind of trapped in the center. The Archons trapped in the back. Not a good position to be in. The Stalkers are going to be leading the charge, and the Protoss army is going to get caught. Fungal growths going down on everything. More fungals on those sentries. Force fields going down, but those sentry Stalkers, Zealots are also falling pretty quickly. The Archons also being held down. Archons not the best unit against Roaches. Looks like the Roaches are going to be able to continue to advance here. The Infestors just not quite fast enough to be able to throw the fungal growth down. The Roaches able to prevent this expansion in just a second. Own that Zealot. And yeah, that Zealot was not in a happy place. Of course, he will come back as an immortal, I guess. So many non-mining probes. Yeah, that's a lot of non-mining probes. We have the Protoss army now kind of backed up over here. This third base is going to be forced to cancel, and the Zerg army is looking in a very strong position right now, containing his opponent to 2 bases and getting up to 4 bases himself. We've got additional drones mining over here. And the Spinecrawler wall continuing to advance across the field. Like to see him take another base over here like he was trying to do earlier. Gets that additional gas up. A ton of drones need to be transferred real soon. The creep spread continuing to spread across the map. That's exactly what creep spread does. I wish my peanut butter was like this. I could just put a blob in the corner, go pour myself a cup of milk, and then it would be across my bread. And that's just how lazy I am. It looks like the single Roach Scout is going to be advancing over here. He's going to get totally destroyed. There goes down that Roach. And the Forbrofester hit squad is going to be headed over here. 2-0 for the Protoss army right now, but the Infestors are going to be able to do some damage. They can actually throw down enough Infested Terrans to take down this entire base pretty quickly, while the entire Zerg army runs in through the front. So there's only a chance of the Protoss player being able to defend one location. And here comes the Infestors. They will be able to throw down some Infested Terrans. Looks like War Prism was also caught in the crossfire, and that creep spread is almost across. And here comes the final battle. The Zerglings advancing forward, and storms going down on the Zerglings and all of the Roaches. We should be seeing some. Looks like they're going to be moving back. New buff to War Prisms. No help. Looks like we're going to be needing another buff on those War Prisms. Roaches are going to burrow to help them regenerate. Looks like the final few Infested Terrans will get cleaned up. And no mining going on over here. Lots of mining going on at the natural expansion. And our Protoss army is sort of stuck. I have no idea how he's going to be able to win this game as of this point. Zinger XPN at 200 food. Another War Prism coming out for our Protoss player. He's desperately trying to make something happen here. But our Zerg army is very much in a good shape. Ultralisk Cavern on the way. Ultralisks actually take less time to build than the tech structure now, which is a good thing for Zerg players all around. Base is getting taken over here. Additional gas going down. Broodlords should be on the way eventually. Adrenal Glands. Zerg Carapace level 2. Melee attacks level 2, as well as the chitinous plating coming up. 3 Ultras going to be joining the field shortly. Zeri doesn't really have too much going for him. He's going to be trying to take this base eventually. He is getting up a lot of money, so he needs to do something with that real soon. Zealot's going to be popping out over here. We're going to see if he's able to take down any crucial tech structures. Looks like the infestation pit will be going down. The Queen is going to be trying to do some work over here. And the Zealot's going to be taking care of a couple of Broodlings as well. The Zerglings also advancing in here. Going to be able to reinforce the main. And the Queen will fall, but easily making another one. The Protoss army is now advancing into the center. Fungal growths going down on the entire Protoss army. Looks like a lot of damage dealt to those shields. The Roach is going to continue to advance over here. Ultras out on the field right now. A couple of Ultras joining in the fray. and the main has been cleaned up. Infestation pit should be coming back up shortly. Additional hatches coming up for Zinger XPN. A couple of Zealots being dropped off over here. Looks like they will get cleaned up pretty quickly. That War Prism is